Here goes nothing. Hey guys, so today I'm so excited because I finally have a lift for my garage. Today's video is going to be an unboxing and setup of my new QuickJack lift. Here are the QuickJack boxes. I wasn't here when they dropped them off. I'm gonna try to use this creeper and see if I can get it under the box and see if I can wheel the box into my garage that way. Wardrobe change, please. Ah, just like that. All right, now that I am changed into something I can get dirty, it's time to hopefully not to get dirty. Wanna work in the garage with me? Why are you so spooked? Here you go. Bye. So I have my little, whoa. Oh my God. This thing, magic creeper. I was just showing you what not to do with it. It's dangerous as hell if you stand on it. Look, I can like slide across the floor. It's a magic creeper. I'm a magic creeper. Time to unpack and then we will get to reading some instructions, because that's how I roll. I don't guess, I read instructions. As far as contents go, it came with 3 quarts of fluid, the lift blocks, the 2 sides of the QuickJack, and then I have hoses, some more hoses, a little package kit with fittings. These doodads, I don't know what they are, I gotta figure that out. Over here is the motor pump assembly. Has this cool little up-down button. Really like that. Feels like it would break if you dropped it, and especially if you ran it over. I don't know if they knew because they were selling it to a girl that this would warm my heart, but they sent me a $100 wine voucher. I don't really drink that often, but I do like wine. Wine is delicious. Get my non-prescription doesn't help me see any better glasses on. And we will go over the instrucciones. Employ a manual de montage. Revision du mode d'employé C for released April 2017. I guess I don't need these anymore. All right, let's get these things spaced out. All right, that's the up down. I think I need the car in here. Before I set this up, I might as well just get the car in here. I'm gonna push Teeter Tot in the garage since he's the next car I'm gonna be working on. And I'll get this set up under Teeter Tot in one bay, that way I have the other bay to park Forrester Gump. If you're new to my channel and you don't know what a Teeter Tot and a Forrester Gump are, I'm sorry, I have names for all my cars. Forrester Gump is my Subaru Forester XT, and Teeter Tot is my Audi TT, and Mr. Dose is the MR2. Everything gets a name in my world. Hose time. Take this guy off right here. Yeah, it's clear. It's just a preservative protectant lube. So now that guy has to go in there. The hose came with the cutie. It's a cutie. It's just a little cutie. Sorry. So basically these short hydraulic hoses will remain on the lift assemblies, and then these QDs allow you to disconnect the pump and move it or store it, because that's what I'm gonna have to do since I need to be able to store this lift when I'm not using it. I'll be able to stack it on the edge of my garage. So when I'm wrapping my Teflon tape, I want to make sure I wrap it in the direction where when I'm putting the fitting on there, I'm not going against Teflon tape and just undoing what I just did. So when the fitting goes on there, it's going to thread this way. So that means I want the tape to wrap that way around it. So wrap it around that way. Yes, my nails need to be redone. Somebody's gonna make a comment. I know. There. So now when I thread that on there, it's going this way with the Teflon tape. So I'm not like undoing all the Teflon inside the fitting. The QD is on the little hose. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. I don't even know what accent that is. Cut away from you. Good. Time to wrap this with Teflon. That's roughly on there. I wish the small Sarah was here because she actually lifts a lot and she's a lot stronger probably than I am. I just look strong because I'm a Sasquatch. I'm really not though, but I can run like the wind. Toit. These QD ends right here. These connect right here, and that allows you to disconnect the pump in the front of the car. Reading forward in the steps, it says something about hooking up my air compressor to pressurize the air cylinders on here. So it's a good thing I have an air compressor. I did not know that you were going to need one prior to buying this. So it's a good thing I have one, I guess. I don't know where I'm going with this rant. Basically nowhere. I really want sushi right now. All right, anyway, let's connect some hoses. Preparing my power unit. So these little guys, which are right here, these are gonna go in these ports, which I was struggling to pop these off. Really? That's why they're shaped like a bolt, because they thread in. That makes so much sense. Why would I not pay attention to that? Here's a tech tip for you. When installing these, don't thread them both in and then tighten the top one, because then you can't get a wrench on this one. Well, if you're using an adjustable like me, because you don't have the correct size wrench, which is okay because it's standard and I never use standards. Now tighten it. Now I can tighten this one. All right, that's as tight as I'm gonna get it. Now that that's done, time to fill the reservoir. Okay? That sucks. All right. Oh my God, that stinks. It says it's multi-purpose automatic transmission fluid. Just looks like hydro to me. These are the leftover chuckums that are in the package that came with this. And these are in fact not chuckums. They gave you replacement wheels in case one of the wheels breaks, and rubber stoppers for something. Where's the error step? The last step, I think. Pretty sure it's the last step. Now I have to use the air compressor and pressurize these little air cylinders to 40 to 50 psi, making sure I don't exceed 50 psi. Should probably have safety glasses on, but I don't think QA is gonna fail me if I don't. So. $45-ish. That'll work. There's still one more step. I have to bleed the assembly. So I have to stand it vertically and bleed it. It says in the instructions I have 2 people. I don't have a second person, which is a growing problem here on this channel. But I'm going to figure something out and stand it up, and then I got to bleed a bleeder screw on the top of the cylinder. So I can do it. I'll figure it out. Okay, so if you follow the instructions in the book correctly, you fill it with fluid, check, did that. Open the breather valve on the reservoir after filling it, check, did that. It does not say yet to connect any power. The next step on the next page, bleed the cylinders. Well, I don't see how you could bleed those hydraulic rams without first sending fluid from the reservoir to them to bleed them off. Maybe I'm missing a step, but it doesn't say that in the book. It just goes directly from filling the reservoir, checking the vent on the reservoir, to then bleeding off these cylinders, but it doesn't say to pressurize them at all. It skips that step. So maybe it's a misprint, or maybe my brain is a misprint, but I'm going to go ahead and power this thing up and send some fluid into these rams and then do the bleed process, because that's what makes sense to me, at least from years of experience of working on aircraft jacks. I don't see how there's too much difference between this and an aircraft jack system. Okay, here goes a dry run. It's not under the car for practice. And this is all set up here. That's all stayed up there. Plugged in. All right, let's give this a shot. All right, I think I sent some fluid up there. I can't fit my Milwaukee fuel inside here. It's too small of an area. So I'm just using vice grips and yeah, a bit, because sometimes you just gotta get stuff done, right? I lean it up against a wall because I'm by myself, and then I just opened that up and bled off the air and closed it back up. I noticed that when I was first trying to bleed these rams off, there was nothing coming out. There was no air really, like nothing was really bleeding out of them. So I did hook it up to the pump, and I just barely hit the up button to get a little bit of fluid pressure built up on these rams. And then I relieved it, and then I went and bled them off, and it bled just fine. So I don't know, maybe this is just like a one-time fluke thing that happened for me. I don't know if it's happened to anyone else out there, but that's what I had to do to bleed off these rams. It came with different size lift blocks. I'm gonna use the large lift blocks though. Put one up here on the front. I'll move it wherever I need it. And then over here, same in the rear. We'll just stick that there for now. So on these 8N Audi TTs, the underneath is really odd when it comes to jacking it up. Most cars like this that are unibody, you just jack it up along the pinch weld. However, this car has 4 rubber jacking points underneath the car to jack from. Problem is with this QuickJack, the QuickJack has to be completely parallel with the car. You can't have it at an angle. Well, those rubber jacking points under the car, 2 of them in the front are more inboard and the ones in the rear are more outboard. So the only way to really do that would have the QuickJacks at an angle, which is improper. So I'm going to jack it up along the pinch weld, which should work anyway, because that's usually what you do for a unibody car. But here goes nothing. I'm low-key looking at it in the viewfinder because I'm like scared. Yay! It's working! You can see it's up underneath the pinch welds that were already mangled from a previous owner. They're kind of bent up, but yeah, it works. And then QuickJack is locked in right here, the little lock, it's engaged. So this gets the car nice and high off the ground. I'm happy. Yeah, this is awesome. Super satisfied with this. It feels sturdy. Feels really sturdy. I like this. I think this is worth the money. I'm happy with it so far. The only complaint I had was having to bleed these rams before use. I thought that was a little bit awkward having to stand it up, especially if you're by yourself. Made it a little difficult for me, but I was able to lean it up against the wall, and the bleed screw on the passenger or the driver's side over here, the bleed screw on that ram is stripped. So that was kind of a huge bummer. But other than that, I'm really happy. Really, really happy. Now for the rest of you that are wanting to know what's going on with the TT, now that it is on the lift, this is the end that had the CV on it. So that is now removed down here on the floor. And then this is all nice and cleaned up, and I have a brand new rubber boot on here. So thanks to the Audi S4 parts place here in Tucson, he hooked me up, gave me a brand new boot. So I got a new boot. I'm gonna clean that up right there. I will install the ball bearings, get that cleaned up, and I'm going to install everything on this end right here. So it'll be all installed, the ball bearings and everything, and then I can just screw it on there and be good to go. Thank you, Patreon supporters, so much for making this happen. I really appreciate it. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you soon with another video. Bye.